You are listening to 90.3 WMS. You are listening to 90.3 WMSE. I'm from Montclair. I missed it. I tripped up, but we got to get it right.
You've ruined it. The morning
ruined it.
buzz is canceled.
Shut down the entire studio. We're done. No,
That's it. We're done. No more. You tripped over one syllable. The world is over.
But we're here, the Tuesday edition of the Morning Buzz. I am your stalwart and masked host, Felipe Costa, as CVS likes to call me.
And I am here too. My name's Tara.
Of course, we're your co-hosts. We're your dynamic duo here. And this week, we have a new news contributor. So what we're going to be doing on the Buzz is we're going to be alternating. So last week, we had Caitlin. She's going to be joining us next week. But this week, we have Jaslyn. Jaslyn, you want to introduce yourself to the wonderful viewers and listeners that we have?
Good morning, beautiful people of Earth and beyond. My name is Jaslyn.
Ooh,
How you doing?
Love that intro.
I love that intro. I think you're going to fit in very well with us.
This is going to be awesome.
But she's our news contributor. She's going to be working with us every other week. So next week is going to be Caitlin, and the week after is going to be Jaslyn. But I feel like this is the beginning of something wonderful. And to start off, give us the news.
All righty. Good morning, as everybody has beautifully introduced me. My name is Jaslyn, and I'm here with your news update. First off, don't forget, everybody, we are still in a pandemic, okay? The owner of the Island Dragway, which is a drag racing track in Warren County, was cited for having over 1,000 spectators, which violates one of the very many coronavirus related orders, according to reports from NewJersey.com. However, their website did say they were operating at 50% capacity, and when NJ.com reached out for a comment, they declined to comment. So that's a story that's still developing. We'll see what happens. In national news, a breakthrough in the mysterious drowning of the late actress Naya Rivera has been discovered. An article written by USA Today claims that she, quote, yelled help before drowning and disappearing below the water, according to her son. Rivera was most known for her role in the television show Glee. This is an ongoing investigation, and we'll be sure to share future updates with you. And finally, according to travel polls, cities like Mexico City, Orlando, and Barcelona are projected to be some of the hottest tourist destinations coming summer 2021. JetCost, a flight comparison website, analyzed the number of searches for flights from May 2021 to August 2021. These cities, among many others, show up as the most popular searches. This concludes your news update for September 22nd, 2020.
Thank you so much, Jaslyn. In terms of weather right now here in Montclair, because I am in studio, responsibly wearing a mask and also wearing gloves because you can never be too sure. It is 46. We have a high of 73 and a low of 46. What about you, Tara, over there in Happy Valley?
Happy Valley, Cedar Grove. It is yelling at me for having ad block on. That's what the weather is right now.
That's great weather.
It's great. And now I can't see the weather. So nothing. It doesn't.
There's no weather today.
There's no weather today.
I will say, so I recently updated my iPhone to the new iOS, and now they're giving any warnings that weather.com is providing. Apparently, there is the description of this warning that we're given that's until Tuesday, 8 p.m.
Yeah, I got this. I saw the same thing here, but I couldn't click on it.
Yeah. It says high pressure centered across northern New England and extending south into the mid-Atlantic states is resulting in a dry air mass in place. Gusty northwest winds will develop and continue into the afternoon with gusts up to 20 to 25 miles per hour. The gusty winds combined with low fuel moisture and relative humidity values lowered to near 25 to 30% will aid fire spread should ignition concern. Basically,
it's dry.
It's dry, and with everything that's been happening across this country, fires would be a lot more harder to handle. Before we go into this first story, I just want to say ahead, something fun happened to me this morning.
Yeah.
So I still play Pokemon Go. We still play Pokemon Go.
Of course.
And there's a dedicated Pokemon Go community here on campus. They have their own Discord, they have their own meetups and stuff like that. And I was planning a trade with someone. So I pull into the little parking lot by the bus stop near the train station because the person I was trading with, he's driving down to 46 the other way. It just felt weird because, like, you see two nondescript cars just kind of pull in and sit there for a while. and then one pulls out and one pulls out right after.
Texting each other. It does look like something else is happening.
It looks like something else is happening. Like textbook in the movies, he's like, it's the drop off and stuff like that. It's like, no, it's just two adults playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Having a great time. But
that is funny.
People yesterday didn't have a great time though at the motor vehicles here in New Jersey.
Does anyone ever like leave the DMV like, I had a great time?
It was a great experience. I'm gonna leave a 5-star Yelp review.
Yeah, I'm happy. My day is better.
So
did it ever happen?
I don't think so. I've spent at least 3 hours at once in a DMV every time I go there. I think the only time I didn't spend that long was when I actually took my test. But the test itself
took forever for me too.
The test was only a half hour, but then waiting to get my actual license was an ordeal. But
it's the worst.
This is an article from ABC, ABC7NewYork.com. And of course, the headline is New Jersey MVC computers back up, but frustration mounts. New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission is back up and running after computer network connection problem halted all transactions Monday. The latest frustrating incident for customers after the agency's reopening led to long lines and confusion. The outage was reported at 9 a.m., resolved at 1:30, but as the article put it, was of little solace to hundreds who had lined up since the early morning hours. There was no power at the Edison Licensing Center, however, and it won't be restored before Tuesday when they're expected to open at 8 in the morning. We have no information in terms of what caused the power outage and the computer system to go down, but it prohibited staffers from processing transactions online or in the Motor Vehicle Commission's offices across the state.
Oh, Lord.
So,
see, here's the thing with the power outage, though. If I was in a place and the power went out, like, at least that would be a clear indicator, okay, this is shot. Like, this is not going to happen today. I'm going to leave. It's a computer problem.
You'd be surprised, though. I will say, working at the bank, even when we lost power, there would still be people wanting to come in, be like, oh, why are the lights off? And I'm like, I don't know. We're trying to set
for fun. Yeah, we're trying to set the mood because you're here.
Let me get some candles from the back. I'll set out a nice little table for you to wait while we do your deposits and withdrawals.
A little bit of the bubbly. The thing is, like, okay, then I guess I'm wrong. But I feel like if it was a power outage, I would leave. But if it's like, oh, we're having a problem with the computers, give us a minute. They're not leaving.
They're not.
They're going to wait to see if it gets resolved. And this went on from 9 a.m. all the way to 1:30 in the afternoon. That is some people's work day.
Yeah, that's a whole shift right there for some people there at the MVC. The thing that always confuses me is the DMV and MVC distinction. Are they two different organizations?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But like
I spell it HELL.
HE double hockey sticks.
Yeah,
as I used to say as a kid.
But this is ridiculous because, like, you imagine, like, the thing is, like, computer errors and bugs and stuff are such a common thing today. Like, you hear, like, okay, it's happened literally, like, almost every place I frequent is at some point been like, computer's taking a second. Computer's got a bug. Whatever. It's part of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you hear that and you're like, all right, I'll wait it out. And then, like, at what point do you just be like, nah, this isn't happening today. I need to cut my losses and leave. After hour 3, I would be considering it. By the time it crossed from AM to PM, I am out.
See, for me, depending on how much time I have in the day, I usually put a hard limit on how much time I'll sit there waiting. If I have plenty of time, if I have like a free day, I'll be like, all right, I'll wait 30 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. If that doesn't get resolved by then, by the 30-minute mark, if the computer issue isn't resolved, I consider it a long-term issue.
Right.
So I'm walking out and I'll be like, I'll come back another day or I'll come back later today. Maybe call in before actually coming in to double check. Be like, hey, your computer's still down? Yeah, okay. I'm not going to waste my time and waste their time while they're trying to
get in line in that cluster.
Exactly. If it's a day I'm busy, the second they tell me the computers are down, I'm out.
You're
out. Audi 5000.
You're Audi 5K.
Gone. Because I'm not, aside from the fact that I can't imagine the stress people are under when they're working in these conditions in terms
I wouldn't be able to do it.
Like, I've had to work several times during computers being down, and when it's internet
At a
down,
DMV though, I wouldn't be able.
like
I'd be-
I'm telling you, at a bank, it's difficult enough when it's just the internet, because when it's just the internet, we can still take transactions, we can still um we can still take anything that's money coming in. We can't do money coming out. Anything
Right.
that's money coming in, we can, but we need to do it by hand to make sure everything's balanced afterwards, because the system isn't corroborating it.
Right.
So it is difficult. It is annoying. So, and then when the computers are down themselves, you have to keep turning people away. There gets to the points where I think there were some days where we just straight up would just turn off the lights and lock the doors on people. So people,
I don't blame you because people are dumb.
and then you still have people going,
yeah.
trying to get in.
That guy at the Krusty Krab, Squidward's like, we're closed, and he's like, I'll take a double Krabby Patty with cheese. Like, people are like that. The people are like that in real life. But Amanda, our buzz producer, was talking about like how yesterday on the Monday Buzz, they're talking about how a lot of the DMV should be online, and it really should. Like, that would solve so much of this, because if one location went down, it wouldn't matter.
The
You
interesting
could just go
thing
home
is-
and do it on your computer.
The interesting thing is you can now renew your license by mail. The last time
Yeah.
I had my license renewed was by mail. The problem is they don't let you send a picture in. So the picture I currently have on my license is from 2012. I had just turned 17, because this is my very first like full license.
Yep.
And I had that situation where every time I go to do anything that involves an ID, especially things like, I am 25, I can legally purchase alcohol,
Yeah.
I get weird looks. I go into a bar, I get weird looks, because they look down as like, this is a fresh-faced child. They look
Who
up,
are you?
this is a grown adult.
Who are you?
One
You're
of
a
these
different
things is not
person.
like the other. And I'm like,
I
yeah,
get the same thing. I get the exact same thing.
it's
The
'cause-
first I was pre-transition when I took my license photos. I have a full beard in my license photo.
and
It's horrifying.
like it really is, and it's just kind of like I don't even know what to say about it. And the fact that they won't let you send in like a picture to renew it and make you come in, aside from the wait you're gonna have to sit through to begin with.
Yeah,
We're-
because again, once you committed, like you're going to the DMV, it's a bad day.
That's a day where you're already ready. You've already
Yeah.
taken your lumps, and you're just like, time to go away.
Right, get it over with.
We're also in a pandemic. Not everyone can afford to go to a public place like that.
Hi, I am one of those
Like,
people.
if you
who has
needed to
been, like, just trying to like stay on top of this because I can't like afford to go in. I can't. I'm immunocompromised. I can't do it.
Like, if your license expires, and the thing, they extended licenses by 6 months, which is good, because mine expired in August, and they extended 6 months. So the next chance I actually get to safely go to the DMV, I'm gonna go and update my license, because they're not even giving the option to mail it in at this point. But to sit there and just kind of like imagine the people like you that can't go in, like,
Well, also their website looks like it was designed by a 5-year-old.
okay, give 5-year-olds some credit. Come on.
Right, like their website is so unintuitive, and it turns out like I can renew it, like do my renewal online. It's so like backwards and convoluted and
It's like they want you to
and-
give up and come in.
Yeah, like the website was so poorly designed. Like I know people that can design better websites than that, and they're still students.
Yeah. It's
Jaslyn, what are you thinking about this?
yeah. Have you? When's the last time you went to the DMV?
Okay, so I'm glad you asked, Philippe, because the DMV is like, I was telling my mother the other day, it's something that you have to dedicate a full day for.
Factual
To me.
truth.
So it's like you can't, like, it's not like, oh, let me go to ShopRite real quick, I'm on the way home.
Right.
It's like you
It's
have
the
to
day.
mentally,
It's the day.
Exactly, you have to mentally prepare. You got to get up and be like,
It's like dealing with a relative you're not on
Fond
good
of.
terms with. Yeah. So like,
it's like
when
it takes a lot.
you got extended family coming over for Thanksgiving, like that's a whole day you need to mentally prepare for your uncle that thinks that he's the trot of the walk and thinks he's the best thing
still
ever.
thinks
and he's still like he's balding and just weird, and you'd never want to see him again. But
I feel like this is turning into something personal for you. I feel like a therapist. I just hit.
Oh,
something
I should have
important.
said cousin. He's not an uncle. He's a cousin.
Yeah. Like I feel like I just hit something important in your life that we need to discuss later.
If my mom is
you need to vent
listening,
about.
if my mom is listening, she knows exactly who it is, and I wish she could be here to rant a little bit too, because yeah, exactly. So
All right.
we're gonna jump from the DMV to talking about cheating, not relationship wise, but academia wise. I want to
Yeah.
preface this: I have never cheated in my life.
You are lying. I mean, in a relationship, no, you're one of the most stand-up people I've ever met. But
Even though I'm sitting down.
Yes, but like, he got jokes. But like, we went to high school together.
That's the joke. It's a Jeep.
I'm having none of this.
So this is an article.
Shenanigans. Absolute shenanigans. I'm having none of this.
This is an article from PR Newswire that is just titled "United States Cheating Patterns Revealed by EduBirdie." This is a global research firm called EduBirdie, I guess Education Birdie. I actually like that name. It's kind of cute.
Yeah.
It is an English firm, and it's focusing on nationwide study patterns, and in terms of what people cheat on and what people like to focus on in the kind of subjects that students here in the US look at. Now, they have a list of they compiled all this information, they put it all down. They narrowed it down to the top 6 most cheated subjects in the United States. You ready for this?
Always.
We talked about this yesterday, but this is for our wonderful audience. 1 was English, 2 history, 3 psychology, 4 literature, 5 sociology, and 6 nursing.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm immediately cast in a negative light because my major is number 5. So we have an issue here.
But here's the thing. I understand why these are the top 6.
Right, and this is interesting. You brought some of this up last night.
This is very memorization intensive. There is a lot in the topics of English, history, psychology, literature, sociology, and nursing. There are probably other subjects that also require a lot of memorization. Mathematics and science are 2 big ones that come to mind.
But those are like problem solving. Like stuff with like sociology and psychology and stuff is just memorizing like blocks of information
in
of
English,
like old writings.
In English is like you got a lot of grammar stuff you need to memorize. You got a lot of just language quirks you need to memorize.
And then the nursing
I before E except after C, like that's complete garbage, by the way.
If you didn't grow up with it, it's ridiculous. But the nursing one, like our producer commented that it's scary that that one of the medical fields would be on this list. I, as somebody who for about a year was legitimately pursuing a bio major toward medicine, I'm not surprised because there's so much, like the only way I could describe it is gatekeeping in the medical professions. There's so much just like courses that have nothing to do with taking care of people or medicine. They just want to see if you're quote unquote smart enough.
There's
like
a lot
all
of
the chemistry and all like these ridiculous high level math courses that have nothing to do with.
Organic chem and biochem are the big ones in chemistry because I remember dealing with that myself. That was actually the point where I gave up on chemistry and switched over to English momentarily. But one of our other people behind the scenes, Mary, she commented, I thought math would be number 1. I did too. I honestly did too, because you just think of all the equations you need to remember, all the rules you need to remember, proofs. Do you remember proofs?
I do remember
geometry
proofs.
and algebra, all those rules you have to remember and somehow connect the dots to try to prove like, a triangle, an equilateral triangle has 3 sides. And I'm sitting there like, it has 3 sides. Why do I need to prove it?
You're looking at it.
You're looking at it. It's
on the
there.
page. There
Find
it is.
X. Here it is. But
legend.
So there's other information they've also revealed with this research. Fitting a well-held stereotype, as the article says, males make up the majority of the cheating in the United States of America, with 57% of the essay requests coming from students identifying as male. Let's be honest, a lot of that comes on the other side of cheating as well, in terms of men cheating on their partners, but that's aside from the fact. Anyways, they also uncovered that students in the U.S. are 52% less dedicated to their education than the global average when it comes to average essay length. Globally, the average essay length is 6.3 A4 pages, where U.S. students average just 3.5 A4 pages per essay. All right, let me talk on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Did they? I assume that I'd have to look through the actual research to see the kinds of permutations that people are looking at in terms of what essays they're looking at. Is this a situation where they looked at any essays that could be of any length, or is it a situation where a professor, a teacher assigns, do an essay that's 3 to 6 pages or 3 to 7 pages, and then you only write 3.5 pages, for example? Because
Right.
that's I feel like depending on your permutations and the things that you decide and the requirements you're given for the essay, length will always change, because there are plenty of essays
Right.
that have only been 3 pages, but other essays I've had to write, good Lord, today I can't speak, have been like 7 plus.
Right.
But
Here's the thing, though.
Go ahead.
Now I'm looking at like a lot of these things that they measured, or they're judging it by essay length. Like that's their metric for productivity. That's their metric for dedication to their courses, is just how much you write. Question: have you ever BS'd an essay before?
When have I not?
Have you ever or even if you didn't BS the essay, have you ever BS large portions of it to meet the page requirement?
If it's an essay, that's my thing. I feel like a lot of people can relate to this. If it is an essay that is based on a subject you are interested in, maybe portions of it I have BS just to meet the length, because you'll hit the argument and you'll get everything out of the way. You'll have all your points done, and then all of a sudden you're kind of like, oh, I'm like half a page short. Filler words.
Right.
As opposed to an essay where you're like, I really don't want to write this. Let me just write whatever comes to mind.
You start,
It's just like it's a solid essay, but you fully the entire thing, you didn't care. Or my favorite is where you land in between, where you're trying to just fill out the essay, and then as you're coming up with stuff, whatever to write, you're kind of like, wait a minute.
The light bulb goes off.
Yeah.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like this is a little bit weird. I don't know if this is the only way you could judge how dedicated students are, is by essay.
I need to see. I kind of want to look into the actual hard data that obviously this is just a summary of the data. I want to see the hard data personally, if I can actually get my hands on it without having to pay for it, in terms of not stealing it, but in terms of like requesting it from EduBirdie and be like, hey, can I just look at this? I want to see what you have to say, and figure out the actual kind of like logistics to like, all right, how did we come to these numbers? What were our requirements, permutations for each different data set? The one interesting one is students in the U.S. also rank below the global average for proactivity, with students tending to leave their essay 6 days before their deadlines.
Let's talk about it.
I want to know these students that are finishing their essay 6 days, starting their essay 6 days before the deadlines. There's some days I start essays the night of.
That's generous.
That's 6 days is very generous. Like, I'm sitting here.
Say it again. That is the God's honest truth.
Like I'm sitting here thinking, like, I've written 7 pages in like 3 hours at night, fueled on nothing but caffeine, spite, and my own depression
and existential dread
of figuring out if I'm going to do well enough to pass this class, which I end up doing it because I'm very smart, and most of us are very smart. And part of the dread with essay writing isn't necessarily you don't know what you're going to write about. It's more the fact that essays aren't fun.
I like essays better than tests.
Depends on the test. If it's a test where I write, I don't mind it as long as I know the subject matter and I am fully prepared. If it's like multiple choice, true and false, stuff like that, that's when I'm like, all right. I
favor writing in general because I do better with stuff where I can either describe or convince. Like if it's a hard yes or no, I feel like I don't do as well. But if I have any room to be persuasive, I'll take it.
Well, that's the type of person you are and the type of people we are, and it very much translates into the kind of careers we look into.
Yeah.
We're looking at radio. Radio is not a very it's a fact-based career in the sense that we need to make sure when we're talking about things we bring up the facts, but there's a lot of opinion that goes into what we say on air, what we say on our own shows, on the Morning Buzz, and all that stuff. As I adjust my glasses, I feel like
Here's a fact. Edu Birdie and I need to have a conversation because you put my major on the spot. What did I do to you? What did I do to you, Edu Birdie? Why did you have to put my business out there like that? You don't know me. You don't know if I'm cheating or not. I'm a sociologist. No.
Hold on. Do you think you can do a sociological study on this?
That's the thing is that like a lot of the stuff that they're saying is like setting off bells for me. Like, okay, was it, how did they present it? Was it a voluntary response? Was it in the form of a survey? How was the survey phrased? How was, like there's so like that, since that's kind of sort of what we study. There's like all these like questions are popping off in my head, and which is why the essay thing throws me a little bit.
It's a lot of data without context.
Right. You had this opportunity to gather all this information, and the only thing you asked about was essay length?
I can assume that there's probably more context if we were to get our hands on the raw data that they have. But again, that would require us after the fact going into and seeing if we can if Edu Birdie has that information available publicly, or if they're able to provide that information privately at personally no cost, because then if you're going to charge me for that data, I'm just going to be like, I'm not that interested.
Yeah, you're putting it behind a paywall, in which case you can
take
a long walk off a short pier.
Speaking of walks, unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we could not have an actual red carpet for the Emmys. And the Emmys were talked about yesterday in terms of the actual awards. But today, we're going to be focusing on something prettier, something more beautiful.
Laverne.
Well, yes, Laverne, of course.
Laverne can do no wrong. Let's just be honest.
Because of the fact that we have a visual element now to the Morning Buzz.
All you people watching us on Facebook Live right now or later on YouTube, you can see this.
Yes, we can see what everyone was dressed up as. And just already, this is an article from Vulture, a New York magazine affiliate. For front row, we have Laverne Cox already, which
Laverne is just untouchable. She's untouchable.
She really is. It's like, again, when it comes to fashion, there's hits and there misses with different celebrities, and you can usually tell which celebrities are going to do well and how
which ones are going to phone it in,
or miss the mark entirely. Let's not get into how people miss the Met Gala themes every year.
The Met Gala is like, remember the year what were they like?
Camp. The last one was camp, and people missed it by a mile.
If you take, if you look to the Met Gala to tell you what camp is, you probably look to Vanilla Ice to tell you what rap is. Like, that's the same type that's the quality of information you're doing.
Like, don't get me wrong, there were some people that did a fantastic job at camp at the Met Gala. Billy Porter, for example, who we'll see later on in this article. And you don't like, camp is obviously very connected to the LGBTQ community and LGBTQ history, but you don't need to be a member of the community to understand what camp is. Camp is very much there is literature and there is research into what camp is and its origins. If you
watched a Disney Channel movie growing up, you probably know what camp is.
Let's be completely honest.
You're fine. You're up to speed.
The year before, they did a Catholic Church-inspired theme specifically about the opulence and the ostentatiousness of the church. Like, Rihanna had a very, very, very good dress, a very good example of what you should be wearing. She had that long flowing cape. It was all bejeweled and bedazzled. She was wearing that big, tall Pope hat on her head, and it was a perfect example of what you should be doing for that kind of stuff. I think the late what's his name, Chadwick Boseman, had a perfect example of what that kind of Catholic Christian just ostentatiousness with the costume he wore and that suit with long cape and just different scenes from like tapestries and stained glass windows on it. But let's go into
let's talk about what happened over the weekend. It's also interesting because a lot of these people are home.
Mhm.
So you get this interesting thing of like, how hard are you gonna go? Even though you're only on video and you're not actually gonna be there. Are
And
you
there's a
gonna come
couple people
correct
here.
or what?
There's a couple of people here that kind of phoned it in. I'll be quite honest.
Like, for example, I knew I had to be on camera today, so I have selected for you a long sleeve T-shirt.
Beautiful.
So,
Minimalism. It's a commentary. It's a
it's a statement.
commentary on the excess of the world, and sometimes we just need to focus a little more inward.
right. So let's see you understand. And you today, for example, have selected a jersey from what team is that?
The St. Louis Blues.
St. Louis Blues. Where Brodeur ended his career, correct?
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
So it's a reminder of making good decisions in life.
Yeah.
That's your statement, because Brodeur
Yeah.
did not,
Yeah.
because he ended his career there instead of in New Jersey.
Yeah.
But let's talk about what happened over the weekend. Laverne was amazing. They had some issues with her mic, which some people were talking about, but that's not an issue. That's not an issue.
The cool thing about her dress is that little, I guess it's not mesh, that material.
Yeah, it is.
Is it mesh?
Yeah.
There's
Nude illusion.
There is Egyptian, what looks like Egyptian hieroglyphics and iconography all over it, which is beautiful to begin with.
Yeah. Hair, perfect. Makeup, because Laverne is untouchable, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Well,
she's like, even following her on Instagram, like, it's just like, you look at like what she's doing, and you're just like, man.
you get a little jealous just because of the fact that like you wish you can pull off some of the things that someone like Laverne Cox does.
Go that hard at all times.
They
ready to move on?
Yes, 100%.
What were you saying? I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it's just so effortless sometimes with some people.
Yeah. Let's talk about Regina King's moment here.
Very, very blue. I like blue. I'm a sucker for blue, as you can see.
Yeah, it's
color
cool.
blue.
The pattern's cool. The shoes look like they could stab somebody's eye out, which is cool.
You always want that.
You want the knife heels, like
Stilettos.
You use a weapon in a fight.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't get the shape.
There's a few different dresses. You see these kinds of dresses a few different times during award season. They're just poofy. They're big.
They're very poofy. But this
loud.
one is like defying gravity. It's going up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's poofing.
Idina
up.
Menzel is somewhere in the background singing.
Yeah,
That's how much gravity it's defying.
It's poofing up. It's not poofing with the laws of physics.
Yeah, there's a second.
It looks like a comforter.
Yeah, there's a second picture of Regina King where she's just wearing a nice. If you can scroll down for us, Kara. A nice little blazer. She's wearing a Breonna Taylor shirt, but a nice, smart little pink blazer. Very simple, relaxing at home. Kind of looks like a testimonial from like a reality show.
Yeah, it does look like. Well, that's a lot of these are gonna look like that because it's just a single camera dead ahead. Like it's gonna look like a reality TV show.
You can edit the way you can frame it a little differently. We'll see later on. Some people frame it a little different. You can frame it a little differently. Like scroll down. We can keep going. We have Zendaya looking fantastic, being
vicious,
one of the youngest to ever win for lead role in an Emmy for her role.
Shout out to Vulture Magazine for picking the blurriest frame ever to put in their article.
Yeah, when you could have just picked like the pictures they put on social media.
This is Zendaya getting like flung out a window, like it's all motion blurred. Like I don't understand, but she's devastatingly beautiful. Like that situation with the V-neck down to the dress and
the hair is very classic.
It's just amazing.
Next,
Nick. Oh, you scared me. Jesus.
Go scroll down so I can see the person's name.
Yeah, this is Cynthia Erivo, who I'm not familiar with beforehand, but is killing it.
I love killing it. I love the colors. I love the theater woman Amanda has told us. Beautiful colors. I love the purple and the green. The
pattern's awesome.
Looks like fur. I assume it's not actually fur.
Pop on the shoulders just to like extra vicious. Nails perfect. Makeup perfect. Even the little septum piercing, like tasteful. It's done. It goes with the earrings. This is art. This is
She
awesome.
was just Amanda's telling us because Amanda over here, our I'll call her our theater correspondent for today.
Yeah.
She started in the revival of The Color Purple. She just won the Tony for it, and she was also in the movie Harriet. But let's move on
She's
to
vicious, and I love everything about this.
let's
moment.
move on to our next candidate. All right.
Okay.
So this is a show we can't say the name of.
Yeah, Creek.
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 This is Dan Levy, the son of Eugene Levy. I like this a lot. I do like this a lot.
Yeah.
He's wearing a suit jacket, a very simple suit jacket, tie, and shirt. But instead of wearing pants, he's wearing a kilt to match the suit jacket with some calf-high socks, is what you'd call
The
them.
boots. Yeah, there's boots under them.
Like, I love it. It looks great. And you always love to see people defying gender roles in terms of what they wear. And here, it's while it is a kilt, kilts are traditionally worn by men in Scotland.
Right.
You don't see kilts made of suit material, right?
Right. And this is like I feel like in these fashion things, every time we come to the men,
Oh, he has a purse. He has a small purse with him.
it's vicious. Every time we come to the men, I feel like it's a lot of the same. You know,
Yes.
it's a lot of just like traditional dark color suits. Maybe a print pattern is
You gotta be
different.
like PK Subban.
This is vicious.
You gotta be like PK Subban. If you're just wearing a simple suit, give it a pop of color. Do a color that normally, like, do a nice purple. John Boyega, fantastic, has always done a great job.
John Boyega should be the next James Bond.
He should be the next James Bond.
But nobody listens to me.
But-
But anyway, Dan Levy here. I mean it's vicious. I
simple.
want to be mad about it because I literally not in a million years could have foreseen this coming, but
Dan Levy is a really cool guy, very interesting character. They explored on the show pansexuality very well, which is cool.
Right.
Not a lot of
way
people
to go
tackle that.
hard on the
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No,
Like this is just like I don't know. I'm impressed. You don't usually see guys making this bold
Mhm.
fashion choices.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
So up next
Who
we have
got next?
Catherine
Catherine
O'Hara.
O'Hara
Very
in black.
uh,
Classic. You can't. It's
It's
black dress.
Catherine O'Hara is an older actress. She's been around for a while. She has a name in the industry, so she kept it simple to it. Is she wearing boots though, like combat
Yes.
boots? Okay, I like that.
Yeah, she is.
But
I don't know if she has kids or not, but if those kids were ever getting picked on, that person could literally say your mother wears combat boots.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yes, she does.
yeah. But this is classic. Apparently, there's blue in here. I can't really tell on camera, like in the picture, but
The blue, yeah.
I don't know.
So now we have Dan Levy. Okay, see,
This is Eugene Levy.
Eugene Levy. It's not the traditional suit color, and he's wearing a black shirt underneath it, which is cool. But
Yeah.
again,
The blue's just light enough that you could get away with that contrast.
yeah, again, like, I love Eugene Levy. The dude is, again, like Catherine O'Hara, absolutely classic actor. Just wish men would do more.
Yeah. Wow. In life, but also in
yes,
also in fashion. But like,
Look.
this is nothing wrong with this. And
Look.
also, some people get real touchy about like blue and black. I think it's cool.
yeah, it's like a grayish blue.
Yeah. Who we got next?
So this is Annie Murphy. She's also on the show. She plays the sister of Dan Levy's character.
I'm not crazy about
I
it.
mean, she kept it simple. It looks good on her, but
The mesh with a suit is not doing it for me.
it's a trend. I
Is
will
it?
say that. Yeah,
Like
wearing,
mesh with a suit.
mesh in general has become a
Like
trend.
mesh in general, I get it. Like Laverne's looked amazing, but like under a suit jacket is not doing it for me.
No.
Everything else is like classic and infallible, but like,
Speaking of infallible,
oh hey, it's
next?
Billy Porter. Speaking
This
of like untouchably gorgeous, it's Billy Porter.
this is what I was talking about in terms of a camera angle. This isn't a testimonial camera angle. This is,
A little bit off center, a little bit down, like to the side.
framing a Grammy right behind him.
The piano.
The piano.
Just so you know, he's on a different level than you.
It's it's Billy Porter. What else?
Billy
can you say
Porter's
about the man?
vicious. It's like a sash cape thing.
It's a
like
full-
also
it's- I
fit
think
into
it's
the
a-
body,
Fitted to his hands.
down to the hands.
Got a little bracelet.
Yeah,
some
this is
rings.
unreal.
Single
Billy Porter
earrings.
is unreal.
Look, every time, he doesn't need to do much half the time. Wait, Amanda, you met Billy Porter?
We'll get back to this.
We'll get back to that. We'll get back.
Yeah.
We are taking a while on this. Alex Bornstein? I don't know who this is, but she's just wearing.
She looks like she's trying to do her best, like Marilyn Monroe, Jane Mansfield era. Like, oh, don't look at me.
Oh, she's from
Like,
Family Guy. Yeah, I mean, it looks good on her, but I wouldn't say it's.
I wouldn't do
jumping
this
out
for
at
an
me.
award show.
No.
The dog's cute though.
I do love the dog. This is Yahya Abdul Mateen II. I like pinstripe suits. I always like.
Not a
pinstripe
fan.
Suit. You don't?
No, because every time I see them, I think of like TV mob bosses.
That's fair.
I'm
No,
not
I-
a huge fan of the pinstripes.
I think it looks good on him. It's simple. It's not overdone.
No, it's not bad. It's
You
just
sure?
I just
Let's
what?
move. I was just gonna say we're gonna move a little because we've been on this story for a bit.
Jeremy Strong. This is a mugshot. I don't know what he's wearing.
He kind of looks like a chef.
He looks like he's on like Iron Chef or something.
A chef that got
can't-
arrested.
Julia
This
Garner.
is a very unflattering picture.
It's a horrible angle, but the outfit is everything is perfect. This is like classic, like all
Roaring
tips of the
20s.
hat to classic Hollywood. And
Roaring
like,
20s flapper style.
it's
even a
just
little hairband.
it's ridiculously amazing, and like
Yeah.
the short hair is perfect, brows perfect, lips perfect, jewelry, dress perfect.
She's on what's it called? She's on Ozark, the show.
Oh yeah, I've heard good things.
Yeah.
I've heard good things.
Uh,
Titus
Titus
Burgess in the tracksuit.
just a Fila tracksuit. I love it. I mean, what else would you expect from him?
He's in front of a green screen. He's the man.
Yeah.
He's the man. He's a powerful individual.
Sarah Snook wearing a simple suit.
Classic, beautiful. Those earrings too. My God,
love the hair.
those. And I don't know what's going on with the fake Emmy here, but treat yourself.
Yeah. Zendaya with another different dress.
Yeah,
Again,
because
another.
Zendaya is amazing. Like, she's freakishly talented. I
She,
can't.
it was pointed out she's probably one of the ex Disney cast members that handled her transition into normal fame.
Made it look effortless. I'm sure it was insanely difficult, but like,
Oh yeah, 100%.
it made it look effortless. Which
Here we
I envy.
have
Tracy Ellis Ross.
Diana
That's
Ross's
alright.
daughter.
It's cool. It's cool.
She
I
always
like.
looks good.
It's. I like the bow moment.
Yes.
It's cool, and the material is really interesting. It's
Yes.
different than what a lot of people were doing.
I don't know.
These
who
are some
two
people. Didn't put a name. Moving right along. Paul Mescal. It's a suit. So remember, see, this is what we were talking about. It's a suit.
Do more. I don't.
The cast of
Cast of
Little
Little
Fires
Fires
Everywhere. I've never even heard of that.
It's some TV show, and of course, Laverne Cox.
Laverne looks amazing. I can't. Laverne is too good. She needs to be nerfed. She's too good. Rachel
You can't see what
Brosnan.
she's wearing, but I love the dog.
Yeah, the dog's adorable.
Winston, you look great. You can't see what he's wearing.
Daniel McDermott looks like he shot this on his phone. Tony Shalhoub from the TV show Monk. I can't see what he's wearing either, but it looks nice.
He does have an ascot.
Yeah, and the like this is a different type of fabric for a suit. It's like red and different material, so that's cool. D Nice behind the turntables. It's cool. It's like that whole I'm gonna wear a suit, but I'm gonna be cool and wear a different kind of shirt underneath moment.
I mean,
And he's pulling it off. I mean,
love
you're the
the hat.
DJ. You're supposed to be a little bit like
I love
more
the
chill.
I love the hat.
Yeah. I'm gonna
gotta
butcher your name.
You got to scroll down a little bit more. There you go. Yvonne Orji.
Yvonne, I
G.
was gonna butcher that, but
Yeah.
this is gorgeous, and the hair.
Yeah. Look, again, short hair is always looked down on in terms of both a combination of the belief that women should have longer hair, and also there's a tendency for women of color to have shorter hair like that.
Right, and also the fist.
The
Just
fist.
perfect.
Fantastic.
Dressed perfect. Just amazing. RuPaul die in a fire. Sarah Haas looks good. Dress looks good.
You can't see what she's wearing, really.
No, a lot of these. We're back to the frame outs. Can't see what you're wearing.
HCR.
You look like
Darcy
you're in.
Carden. She's
It looks nice. It looks like you're in an office, which you might be.
She might be. She's from the show The Good Place. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yara Shadini.
She looks good. She looks
Good.
good.
A little contrast between the top and the bottom.
Don't see what you're wearing.
Yeah.
This
Just
one
Rain Valdez dress looks nice. Dude in a shirt. Dude in a jacket. Dude in a jacket, but the collar's nice.
T-shirt.
Dude in a t-shirt. Although I think it's a t-shirt for a cause. So
Yes.
Ted Danson, dude in a sweater. Dude in
Carson Kressley.
whatever that is. Okay, so
denim
we hit the
shirt.
important stuff.
So we hit the important stuff. I think overall there was some good stuff. There were some good looks, and as usual with any situation like that, there were some good, there were some bad.
Yeah. But speaking of fashion,
speaking of fashion,
we have a fashion thing for you. Can we just put the picture up, and then
Yes.
we'll see if people can catch what's different about this.
put the picture up.
Oh,
These things
no,
not
this,
like the
this
other.
is, where's the? I need the link. There we go. There we go.
So
I want to pull it up separate from the story.
So England, we're talking England. We're talking
the UK. I can't with this. I can't. I love this so much. So to see if you can tell what's happening in this image.
so
People at home, if you're listening on the radio and not seeing the visuals on Facebook or YouTube, it's an individual, older individual.
This is in London. This is
In London, sitting on a bus.
taking the public bus in England from Swinton to Manchester this past Monday. Both sound like made up places, but they are in England.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just hanging out. You know, he's got a watch on.
So
No socks, but sneakers, which is whatever.
the
white
story
t-shirt.
goes,
And then you get to the face.
passenger took a picture thinking like, oh, that's just a cool, different looking mask. A passenger who wished to remain anonymous said she first believed the man was wearing a, quote, funky mask, unquote, until the reptile started slithering over the handrails, according to the BBC.
It is a live snake.
He was not arrested, by the way.
He is using a live snake as
No
a
one-
mask.
No one else noted this. No one else reacted.
No one did they not notice, or did they just not have the words to say? Like, what are you gonna do at this point?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna do? No one said anything. I mean, no one snitched on the man except for this person who just tweeted it out.
I wouldn't consider this snitching. The dude has a live snake on a bus.
I thought you were gonna say on a plane, and I'm like, where is Samuel Jackson?
I'm tired of these snakes on this bus. But
The
look at
defini-
this.
Mary chiming in the definition of minding your own business.
Like, what do
And
you
honestly-
say? It's like Jake the Snake is on the
Look,
bus with you.
I walk up to that man and I say, "Cheerio, I love the snake."
Put a mask on.
Put an actual mask on, though.
This doesn't count. Is he trying to like make a statement or something?
I don't know, because England is having an interesting moment too in terms of the mask, the no mask movement, if you want to call it that, if you call it all that nonsense going on.
I
right
call
now.
it idiots.
COVIDiots, as the
Yeah.
term was coined some time ago. But yeah, so I don't know if it's actually him using it as a makeshift mask or he just wanted to take his snake out. Either way, wear a real mask.
Walk it? How do you? I guess you can't walk it. It doesn't have legs.
You can't.
What
You
do
can
you-
walk. Look, you can walk a duck. You can walk a cat. You can obviously walk a dog. You can even walk ferrets. People walk their ferrets. You know that?
That's adorable.
They have little harnesses for the ferrets.
I tried to walk my bunny once. He didn't want to.
Some bunnies don't. Some bunnies do. Some don't. It's the same with cats. Some cats are cool with walking. Other cats are not so much.
Yeah.
But just wear an actual mask, please. Like, if this is some sort of statement, I don't know what statement you're making.
here's the statement I'm receiving: is that you're a lunatic.
And if you're not,
That's
making
the
a
statement. Did you just think this was okay? Was this just like, this will cover my face? Handled.
it's I don't get it.
I don't know. And like now
dumb.
the bus, like, can you imagine if the snake just like saw like a roach or something on the floor? I don't know if snakes don't eat roaches, probably. But like if it saw something and just darted and you lost your snake on a bus.
I lost my snake. No, I mean that's animal control needs to step in, and then there's
Imagine
a
your
good
morning commute being ruined because somebody lost their
Well,
snake
imagine the snake being put down. That's my biggest concern.
or getting
because
sick or something. Yeah.
This is an animal. This is an animal that you heard of snakes on a plane. Now you got snakes on a bus. This is an animal that a lot of times people don't understand how to take care of reptiles. Sometimes.
No, they
Um,
really don't. Or they think they're one thing, and then when they're not like in their lap all the time, you know.
you need to be. There is very careful care that you need to take care of it. My
Public transit not included.
public transport. No, not at all. Also, speaking of transportation, um,
We getting out of here?
we're getting out of here. We're not jumping the shark.
We're jumping the bridge.
We're jumping the bridge. So, it's unfortunate we don't have footage of this, but this story comes from Detroit. This is an article from Click One Detroit. And this is the stories from their NBC affiliate. Driver arrested after jumping over drawbridge on Detroit's west side. Driver suspected of being under the influence from using whippets, police say. That is, for those of you who don't know, that is the
I have no
phenomenon
idea.
where you inhale the gas used to compress things like whipped cream and stuff like that.
Oh, like the CO2, and you like
Yes.
get buzzed off oxygen deprivation,
Yeah,
basically.
so this dude,
By the way, is a horrible idea. I don't know if any of you were considering that in your life. But
there are
that is-
these things called brain cells that it kills, and I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you need them.
they're important.
But
So is oxygen. Oxygen is very important.
So yeah, this man was already under the influence while driving, and I think the drawbridge operator Andre Locke put it best when he said, "quote," and I looked, I said, "No, he ain't," end quote, referring to seeing the man actually trying to jump over the rising drawbridge.
What a genuine reaction.
Yeah,
just
he
I can't. With
Yeah,
this.
he did his job. He hit the emergency stop. The bridge jammed. He said, quote, over he went, blew out all four of his tires, and then he crashed into the other gate, end quote. The call from police described the incident as something from Dukes of Hazzard. Locke said he called it, quote, the Blues Brothers, end
If
quote,
you've watched the Blues Brothers,
when they jumped the bridge.
Blues Brothers
Obviously,
is a great movie. By the way, that's required watching. Just in case you were wondering, Blues Brothers is required watching.
Obviously, this man is under the influence while he was doing this. But I want to know.
You think?
I mean, it said in the news article.
Yeah.
I want to know, because there always is a line of logic when you're inebriated in some way, when you come up with a stupid idea.
Right.
If you,
It's like the fake logic that your brain does to
Yes.
try to justify what you're doing.
So you've seen, whether you've dealt with friends or you yourself have been drinking and you drink a little too much, you understand what I mean when it comes down to, you have an idea, there is a line of logic there, but the logic is flawed and doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Make those connections.
It's
I wanna know what the logic was, or if it was just like, bet I can jump that bridge.
right. Or was he trying to get away from someone?
Well, it doesn't say he was being pursued.
Well, that'd be because whoever was pursuing him saw an open drawbridge and was like, no.
Or he was
my
having,
guess.
or he was having some sort of episode while being inebriated. You know, like sometimes sometimes when you are under the influence of certain substances,
Which we wouldn't know anything about.
I mean, I've never done a whippet in my life, nor do I plan on it.
Oh,
because
well,
that
yeah,
is
me neither.
horrifying.
I just mean like flawed logic in that.
Oh, I mean,
Let's see.
yes, I've had alcohol before. I am of age.
Yeah.
You know,
When I did smoke marijuana, it was where it was legal.
Yeah, exactly. Like we've
Which is,
done
by
it.
the way, very weird.
Everything above board, everything, clean across the board.
Yeah,
But-
and I'm not saying that we ever drank underage as kids, but
yeah,
we never did that.
we never did that.
And
But I
that
want,
that type of logic justified jumping off the back stairs of the house into the cement backyard.
do you think
That's okay.
do you think the guy had watched either Blues Brothers or the Dukes of Hazzard,
Yes.
and then
100%
decided to get
yes.
inebriated and or even was inebriated while watching, and thought to himself, Huh. I bet I
do
can
that.
do that.
You could do that.
Because let's be honest, the amount of times that you see anyone who's been under the influence of something and thinks, yeah, I can do that, when they clearly can't do that.
Right.
It happens more often than you think.
I can't. My favorite part of this, by the way, is not just that the guy has the most like pure and genuine reaction of just being like, nah, but that on the landing, unlike in the movies where they keep driving, this individual blew out all 4 tires of the car.
Well, you gotta,
and then hit the gate and stopped.
Like, how do you expect those tires to survive? Because you're talking about a heavy rim slamming into the tire that's slamming into the ground. It's going to cut the tire open, right?
Right. Tires, weirdly enough, regular tires aren't meant for that.
I think even specialized tires aren't meant for that, unless you're driving like monster truck grade tires that are made to kind of like cushion and balance. And
I used to be so into monster trucks as a kid.
I mean, what kid wasn't?
As a teenager, too.
What
I used to follow them.
I mean, there are adults that are still into it.
Yeah, they're awesome.
But again, like, there's so much wrong in this story, and this poor man, Andrew Locke, this the drawbridge operator at the Fort Street Bridge in Detroit, like, you
God
wonder,
bless you. You didn't need this in your day.
You wonder, like, how much he's seen during the day and on the job where he's just kind of like, no, he ain't.
Right. How many times do you think he's seen people consider it?
Probably more.
Like revving their engines at, like, when the bridge starts going on.
Or stopping short.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'll be honest, when I was dumber and not as wise, I definitely thought about it. But then sat there and...
Everyone who's ever seen a drawbridge has thought about, yeah, I clear that.
Like the drawbridge down by Sandy Hook. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like every once in a while, you're sitting there, you're in the car, and you're like,
beach.
You're kind of like, man, imagine just hitting the gas, and just flooring it, jumping out, and landing on the other side.
Just like that one moment in your brain where you're like, I could do that.
And then your brain's also like, no, you can't, because you damaged the car. You could die. Also, you could die.
Yeah. I don't know if you were aware of this or not, but you could die.
You are a mere mortal.
Yeah, no, it's like, it's that. But like when you're under the influence, those checks fail.
When you're under the influence, you are a god, as Kanye would say.
You are a god.
But
no, and bad things can happen.
Very bad things.
So please, if you're gonna, don't go huffing gas, and even if you're under the influence of anything, don't drive.
Here at WMSC, we categorically oppose any sort of illegal drug consumption, because that's,
right.
Aside from it being illegal, it's also horribly, horribly bad for you.
Right.
I feel
if
like
you
this
are
goes
messed
without
up, don't
saying.
get behind the wheel of a car, please.
Call a cab.
Call an Uber exists.
Call a friend to drive you. That's all you need to do.
Test how good of friends you are with people. See if they're willing to take you home or not.
Like I've had friends who I don't speak to as often that they've called me and asking me for a ride in the past, and me actually considering it, because as much as they're not like, family to me as friends, I'm still a decent human being, and they're nice enough to me that I'm like, yeah, I'll give you a ride. And they're like, oh no, I was able to get a ride. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine, good, as long as you get a ride.
Just don't drive when you're messed up, please.
You'd be surprised how many people would be willing to give you a ride, in that kind of situation. But
and don't start with that garbage of like, oh, but I'm really good about it. Like, no, you're not.
Well, I sobered up.
No,
I had an espresso, that type of stuff.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Or like, oh, dude, it's different when it's, I'm smoking. It's not the same as when I'm drunk. Like, no, just don't. Just don't. Just don't.
On that note, I think we can wrap up the show. We gave our after-school special moment of telling people not to do these bad things that should be common sense, but unfortunately aren't. I want, of course, to thank my wonderful co-host Tara for being here with me. And
likewise.
Want to thank Jaslyn for her first day today on the Buzz, and hope to have more great days. We'll see you in 2 weeks. But we will be back again next Tuesday, same time, same place, 8 to 9 a.m. We'll have Caitlin as our newscaster.
I had one more back to school moment before we
Go
leave.
for it.
After school moment, back to school moment. I have one more moment. All right.
You have many moments. But
That
go
is
ahead.
just make sure everybody out there stay informed, stay safe, and
Wear a
make sure-
mask.
Wear a mask, and make sure you are registered and able to vote. And if you're
Exactly.
gonna vote by mail, do it early because
Also, if
it's
you're
gonna take
anywhere
a while
near
to get
Newark,
processed.
Prudential Center will now not only be a polling place, but also a place where you can drop off your ballots.
Right.
Double check if it is county based or not, but they have a partnership with the New Jersey Devils. And of course, want to thank our wonderful producers, Amanda and Ryan, for always being there and always working together, and our general manager, Annabella, because without the boss lady,
Boss of all things.
we would not be here. But you're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. I have been Philippe Costa. This has been The Morning Buzz. Thank you, and have a great week.